Have you ever wondered why some people work hard, pray, give, and still struggle financially, while others seem to walk in inexplicable favor and abundance? This is not a matter of luck or coincidence. The truth is that God has set spiritual laws that govern prosperity, and most people, even those who love Him, live completely unaware of these laws. Money, wealth, and blessings are not outside the reach of a believer. They are meant to flow into the lives of those who understand how to align with God's principles. It starts with wisdom. True financial breakthrough begins not with wishing for more money or looking for the easiest way to get rich, but by seeking the wisdom of God. Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, asked God not for riches but for understanding, discernment, and the ability to govern rightly. And God gave him not only wisdom but also riches, honor, and a life filled with favor. Wisdom is the foundation of wealth. It enables you to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to make decisions that multiply resources instead of wasting them, and to act in ways that attract favor and protection. Every financial move without wisdom is like sailing in a storm without a compass. That's why prayer for insight, seeking understanding in God's Word, and learning from godly mentors are critical. Daily study of the book of Proverbs, meditating on God's instructions, and asking for guidance in decisions allows you to operate with a perspective that sees beyond immediate circumstances. Wisdom ensures that the money you receive, the opportunities presented to you, and the choices you make lead to long-term prosperity, not temporary gain. Alongside wisdom, God requires faithful stewardship. God increases what you manage well. Before God blesses you with greater wealth, He wants to see how you handle the resources already entrusted to you. Many people pray for financial breakthroughs while wasting what they already have, mismanaging their time, or ignoring the opportunities that God has already placed in their hands. Stewardship is the evidence of readiness for increase. Joseph, the faithful servant in Potiphar's house, demonstrated this principle perfectly. By diligently managing what was entrusted to him, he was promoted and entrusted with even greater responsibility. Later, in the prison and eventually in Egypt, his faithful stewardship continued to open doors of promotion and divine favor. Likewise, the Bible emphasizes that being faithful with little results in greater blessings, while neglect and laziness lead to stagnation. Tracking your spending, creating a budget, honoring tithes and offerings, and treating your resources as sacred seeds ready for multiplication are all practical ways to show God that you are prepared for increase. Stewardship is not simply about being careful with money. It is a spiritual practice that reflects your faithfulness, discipline, and willingness to honor God with your life. Another law that governs prosperity is the principle of seed and harvest. What you sow determines what you will reap. This principle is spiritual as much as it is practical. Every act of giving, generosity, service, and obedience is a seed that produces a harvest, often in ways you cannot immediately see. Galatians tells us clearly that we reap according to what we sow, and Jesus reminds us that giving opens the windows of heaven. This is why the widow of Zarephath, who gave her last meal to Elijah, experienced miraculous multiplication. It is why the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fishes saw God feed thousands. It is why Abraham's willingness to offer Isaac led to generational blessing. Your financial and spiritual harvest is hidden in the seeds you plant today. These seeds can take the form of money, time, skill, service, or spiritual obedience. Every small, faithful act of giving is recorded in heaven and prepared to return to you in ways far greater than you can imagine. Understanding this principle transforms your perspective on generosity, shifting it from a burden to a powerful spiritual investment that unlocks abundance. Diligence is another crucial principle for financial breakthrough. God blesses hard work, discipline, and consistent effort. Many people want prosperity without consistent effort or persistence. The Bible calls laziness a pathway to poverty, while diligence leads to promotion, honor, and long-term increase. Diligence does not mean working more hours. It means working with focus, excellence, and purpose. It is the commitment to show up every day, improve consistently, and honor God in every action. Joseph, Daniel, and Ruth are perfect examples of diligence in action. They did not rely solely on prayer or faith. They combined faith with consistent effort and excellence, and God honored their labor. Developing skills, setting goals, maintaining discipline, and refusing shortcuts are ways diligence is expressed. This principle reminds us that divine favor often meets human effort, creating a synergy where consistent action aligned with God's wisdom produces results far beyond natural expectation. Alongside diligence, value and service are essential to financial success. Money flows toward those who create value, who solve problems, and who serve others faithfully. Jesus taught that greatness in God's kingdom comes through service. The marketplace is no different. Those who provide solutions, add value, and meet the needs of others attract wealth naturally. Joseph increased in Egypt because of the value he brought to Pharaoh and the nation during famine. David was anointed because of his heart of service and devotion. Paul prospered spiritually and materially because of the spiritual value and teaching he offered to countless churches. The principle is simple. Your income will reflect the value you provide. To grow financially, ask yourself daily how your work, skills, and efforts are helping others, solving problems, or meeting needs. The more value you generate, the more doors of opportunity God opens, and the more resources flow toward you. Service and value are not merely acts of kindness. They are strategic investments into the cycle of divine blessing. Relationships and alignment are equally significant in the journey toward prosperity. The company you keep, the mentors you follow, and the friends you walk with influence your mindset, opportunities, habits, and ultimately your wealth. Walking with the wise increases your wisdom. Walking with the lazy or negative diminishes it. Abraham's journey illustrates the power of alignment. He prospered when he followed God and chose companions that aligned with his vision. Conversely, poor alignment can slow progress, invite distractions, or even bring loss. The people you surround yourself with often serve as either catalysts for success or obstacles to growth. Protecting your spiritual and financial environment is critical. Seek mentors, align with like-minded believers, and ensure your relationships nurture your faith, focus, and God-given vision. Divine connections are often the channels through which God delivers opportunity, breakthrough, and provision. Finally, faith and expectation govern the release of God's blessings. Faith is not passive belief. It is active trust that aligns your heart, mind, and actions with God's promises. Jesus repeatedly emphasized that your blessings are released according to the measure of your faith. Abraham's faith made him wealthy and honored. Joseph's faith brought promotion and provision. Even small acts of belief, spoken words of declaration, and confident trust in God's faithfulness set the spiritual atmosphere for breakthrough. Many believers sabotage their own financial success by harboring doubts, fearing lack, or believing they are unworthy of abundance. Faith changes circumstances, opens doors, and aligns your life with divine provision. Speaking affirmations, meditating on God's promises, and walking in confident expectation are all expressions of faith that unlock unseen blessings. When these principles are understood and applied together, a pattern of divine prosperity emerges. Wisdom illuminates the path, stewardship proves readiness, seeds of generosity activate multiplication, diligence produces results, service attracts provision, relationships enhance opportunities, and faith unlocks the supernatural favor of God. These laws are not theoretical. They are tested principles that have worked for thousands of years. Following them positions you to walk in God's abundance in every area of life. Applying even one law brings change. Applying all 7 transforms your financial destiny and opens doors to prosperity that align with God's purpose for your life. It is important to remember that God's financial laws are intertwined with character. Wealth without wisdom, stewardship, or faith can become destructive. God is not interested in empty blessings. He wants believers who honor Him through their financial lives, who multiply resources for good, and who impact others positively. This is the essence of biblical prosperity, abundance that blesses not only the individual but also the community, the family, and God's kingdom. The Bible provides countless examples, from Abraham to Solomon, Joseph to Ruth, that confirm this principle. The same God who promoted Joseph, multiplied the widow's oil, and blessed Abraham, wants to do the same for you. It is not luck. It is alignment with His spiritual laws. To live in financial freedom, start today. Seek God's wisdom above all else. Be faithful with what He has already given you. Sow seeds of generosity and obedience consistently. Work diligently, improve your skills, and maintain excellence. Create value in every area of your life. Serve others, and cultivate relationships that elevate your vision. Finally, strengthen your faith, speak declarations of provision, and expect God to honor His promises in your life. Every principle reinforces the other, and together they form a path to lasting, godly prosperity. Beloved, the journey to wealth is not about chasing money or succumbing to worldly strategies. It is about aligning with God's principles, understanding His laws, and walking in obedience and faith. As you embrace these truths, the favor of God will surround you, opportunities will increase, and your financial destiny will shift. The blessings God has promised are not for the lazy, the careless, or the doubtful. They are for the faithful, the wise, the diligent, and the obedient. Start today and watch as God's financial laws unfold in your life, producing abundance beyond what you can imagine. Remember, prosperity is not merely the accumulation of money. It is the overflow of God's favor, wisdom, and purpose manifested in every area of your life. Walk in these principles faithfully, and you will experience the fullness of His blessings in ways that honor God and bless generations to come.